Welcome to Bold Talk series where creativity, leadership, ideas, innovation come together. My name is Epi Ludvik, and today I have a privilege to have a short one-on-one conversation with Jules Pearson, co-founder, director of market development and new business at Reach. Jules, great seeing you. Welcome to our Bold Talk series. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. This is very exciting.
Yeah, well, it's exciting to have you. You're doing something very unique with your platform at Reach. Tell us a bit about the early chapters of your journey and what sparked your interest in technology and why Reach.
Yeah. So I guess I never really, to be honest with you, I never really had a deep interest in technology. I was just more interested in making things work better. I actually remember being a child and having to register for certain classes in middle school. And I remember seeing the secretary using an Excel sheet and trying to figure out what classes people are going to fit into. And I remember just sitting there thinking there must be a better way to do this, right? There must be some sort of platform or some way that you can actually visually see where the kids are going, if they're going to be with their friends or not. And it was just something that I've always been interested in process and just making things cleaner and simpler to understand. Remember being a waitress, they asked me to redo the point of sale system, right? Like, do you just select burger or do you select, I want a cheeseburger and this is the type of cheese, and then I want it medium done, well done, right? And so those types of things, I love process. And then it just naturally, as innovation continues to grow, process is really just huddled into technology. So that's kind of how I got interested, I guess, in
Nice. So tell us a little bit about Reach. Like, what is Reach and what problem are you solving with the platform?
yeah. So Reach, I mean, I would love to say that we saw this huge problem in the industry and wanted to create a solution, right? And that's how we started, but that's not really how anyone starts, right? What we wanted to do was we wanted to build a digital first mobile service that had a social good component. This was back in late 2019. And we went to the carriers. We said, we have this great idea for a mobile service. They said, that's cute, but how are you going to manage the plans? What are you going to do for Sims? How are you going to do customer service? How are you going to manage taxes? What about financing? What about doing promo codes? All of these bits and pieces. And we realized we didn't need to build a really cool mobile service. We actually needed to build a platform to build our mobile service. Similarly, Shopify, when they started, they just wanted to build snowboards. They had no interest in building a payment processor, but lo and behold, snowboards is now an afterthought for them. Similarly, how our consumer brand, which was Reach Mobile, now is a bit of an afterthought, because what we've done is we've taken our platform and we pivoted and we used our platform to enable really anyone to launch a mobile service, whether that be internet service providers, celebrities, affinity brands, and so on.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, that's very innovative. And so, is it primarily focused in U.S. market, or is it outside of, or is global?
Well, obviously, Pinky, world domination is always on the radar. However, given given the fact that the ARPU in the United States is so much richer than really any other country, being the capitalist that we are, we decided to start in the United States. But mobile is a global product. So eventually we are looking to expand into Europe and Africa and South America. We actually do have a few clients today that is part of their requirement, is to be able to offer service in Europe and South America. So it is something that we're exploring, we're currently working on, but it was a strategic decision to start in the United States.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Now, when you look back, Jules, at the initial hurdles of launching Reach, what stands out as a defining turning point for you?
It stands I think what stands out to me is having the humility to know that we are not experts at everything. Right? We're really good at APIs. We're really good at customer experience. We're really good at tying all these things together to create a holistic experience. However, there's certain things we're not good at. We actually built our own CRM. This was a couple years ago. It was very, very expensive, took a lot of time. And in the end, when we looked at what we built versus what else is out there in the market, we realized there's others that do it better than us. So what we need to do is we need to just really focus on the things that we're really good at. And if someone else is an expert somewhere, let them do it. Like taxes. We don't want to be a tax company. I have no dreams of doing taxes, right? So that's why we integrate with the best in class, tax platforms that are out there. We have multiple tax platforms that we've integrated with. But I think the biggest challenge is knowing what you're good at. And when you're not good at something, step aside, let someone else do it, and really leverage the learnings that they've had in their own journey. So I think dropping the CRM was probably the biggest learning that we've had.
Yeah. Yeah, and sometimes like when I look at some challenges for me, like as an entrepreneur for over 15 years, now I learn that all the challenges are just the gifts. It's like gifts sent to you that you just need to treat them with the enthusiasm and excitement. That great that this challenge has come because it's for you to grow. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, it's not in your
Exactly.
way. And so I think once you start to adopting that type of perception, that type of attitude, things get easier, right?
Oh, they do. They definitely do. I don't look at a challenge as something bad. I look at it as an opportunity. I think the only way that a learning opportunity isn't good is if, sorry, I think the only time making a mistake isn't good is if you don't learn from it. And I think life is nothing more. I mean, I honestly sometimes I feel like I'm a ping pong ball, right? I'm just ping pong from this to that to this to that until I find the right path, right? That's something that we like to do at Reach as well, is we like to fail fast. Yes, we're a startup. We're built of humans, right? Humans are going to make mistakes, but it's number one, it's owning up to those mistakes when you make them, understanding what happened, and then learning from it and making it better. When I first started my journey at Reach, one of the things amongst many, many things was I actually had to create the customer service experience. Not only did I have to create the processes around it, I also had to create the communication, and I was the first customer service agent.
Wow.
There's nothing scarier than having someone have an issue with their phone and they're calling you and you need to find those answers immediately. It wasn't like this in the beginning, but after a few weeks of doing it, I was most excited about the calls when someone called in and they were actually upset, right? Because then I knew I had an opportunity to completely
Solve
turn it
them.
around. And those
Yeah.
ended up being really the most successful calls for me.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
as long as you can learn from it, it's a great experience.
Yeah. 100%. Now, when you're looking at the broader telecom and connectivity landscape, what industry shifts do you believe most companies still underestimate?
Can you repeat that one? Sorry.
Now, when you look at the broader telecom connectivity landscape, what do you think in terms of the industry shifts do you believe most companies still underestimate?
I think they underestimate the importance of culture and how culture and connectivity really are one of the same. Um, the fact is that people used to go to get their connectivity. They used to go to a store, used to go
Mhm.
to Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, right? And that's where they got their connectivity. And whatever that customer experience was, it is what it is, right? I only have four options. I have to choose one, right? And now with the dawn of MVNOs, people have so much more choice, right? They can really pick and choose where they want to put their money. I mean, everyone who loves something has a cell phone, right? And I think that if you can really hone in on what makes that person tick, what gets them excited, then this monthly bill of a mobile service no longer is really looked at as a bill, but it's kind of an opportunity to get closer to the organizations, the people, the influencers, the sports, the universities that I really care about. So I think I think it's leaning away from what has always been known as like traditional telco, the way of doing it, versus what people are expecting now, which is very customer centric journeys where really the brand is the epicenter of the entire experience. It's no longer the network, right? It's what are those cool things that I can get when I sign up for this service? What are those perks that I get? And I think the other thing is that a lot of a lot of industries have been, like a pendulum swings, right? We've been like swinging to like this super, super cheap bottom of the barrel. The less money you can spend, the better, the better, the better, right? I truly believe that the pendulum will be swinging to the other direction where people are looking for more boutique mobile services. They're looking for mobile service that will get them closer
Interesting.
to the people in the movements that they care about, and they don't mind spending a little extra money if they know, if I launch a Taylor Swift mobile, if I get the chance to access Taylor Swift tickets 1 minute before the rest of the world because I have this Taylor Swift mobile, that's going to be enough for me to change my mobile service. So you just have to really be able to find those hooks, and those hooks are driven by what's important to the culture today.
Where do big telcos have a position in today and in the future here? Uh,
They're just as important today as they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. The thing is that the pie is only so big, and you're still going to be using one of those three big carriers. What's the important thing about carriers now is they have to realize that the public is smarter about where they're getting their connectivity, and they do have these choices. So it's up to the carriers now to be flexible to allow these different branded mobile services to live on their platform. If network X continues to believe that people are really attracted to network X because of their sexy Super Bowl commercials and the guys walking around in suit and tie, that's not what gets people excited. If they speak their language, if they use the same type of terminology, it's those types of things. So telcos are going to have to learn to be more flexible in their offerings, in how they communicate with clients. But the fact is that people are still going to be using those three carriers.
yeah.
It's just
Well,
what
we see
flavor of
we
that
see that
carrier.
we see that in Singapore. For example, I live in Singapore, and we see that big te- big telcos are also kind of eating their arm. They're introducing their smaller, more like boutique brands, like you're talking about.
Circles.
Yeah, and
Circles
that
is so cool.
yeah,
They are doing it right. They are so cool.
yeah, yeah. Circles. You have Giga. Giga is like probably from another big telco out there. But yeah, so it's really interesting to see how they're able to create another entity within this big telco organization and offering the cool services. This is a very interesting topic, Jules, and I wish I have more time to go over. This is a short format conversation. I always ask the last question about what does the word bold mean to you. So we'd love to hear from you.
Ooh, I love that. Bold. What bold means to me is it's standing out, but not standing out in an obnoxious way. It's standing out like a professional troublemaker, right? Bold is taking the status quo and asking, why are we doing it this way? Right? Can't we stand out a little bit more? Can't we make it better? That's what being bold means to me. And I guess I try to be bold every day.
I love that. Being a professional troublemaker. I get
I
this.
didn't make it up. This I will send you the link. But there's an amazing author. I went to one of her women's conferences. Lovey, I'll send it to you, but I can't coin that term. But it's
I
something that
love it.
she said, and I've really attached to it. Right? Isn't that such a cool term?
I love it. Really amazing. Jules, thank you for joining me in this Bold Talk series. Hopefully we get another great conversation in person or another format like this. Until that time, be great. Great successes to you and be bold always. Take care.
Yeah, same to you, my friend.
Thank you.